Joe Biden is evidence of racism in American politics like never before. Because never before could such of a political loser rise so high in the political food chain, but ascend so prominently simply because he is white. I'm about to say something that none of my political colleagues would ever say, because they are all waiting by the phone, hoping that he makes one of them his vice president. Biden says that he is going to make a woman his VP, which shows the inadequate pandering of the Democratic Party, as if women cannot get used as tools for white supremacy also. I mean, look at Kay Ivey, that governor white woman of Alabama who gave the green light to the execution of an innocent black man after new developments proved his innocence. Rest in peace, Nathaniel Woods. Many of you would say that Kay Ivey is a conservative Republican, so I would give you a liberal Democrat who Barack Obama appointed to the Supreme Court. Sonia Sotomayor, who basically made it harder for black people to sue racist white people in racial discrimination cases by nullifying the Civil Rights Act of 1866, which is unconstitutional, by the way. Instead of saying I'm going to appoint a woman, why not say I'm going to appoint a qualified individual with the best interests of the people at heart? You see, this shows the insincerity of Biden, especially with all of these sexual assault allegations popping up almost every day now. He do not give a damn about women, but he would say what is needed to say in order to get your vote. And anybody falling for this woman pandering have a serious IQ issue. For all of the black ladies listening, just think about all of the Kay Ivies and Nancy Pelosi's and Sonia Sotomayor's on your job. And now tell me if you would be comfortable with having a politician second in command just because of her gender. Just think about all of the so-called women on your job who became your superiors, who tried desperately to prove their allegiance with the racist white man. And how many of these women had to prove that they were more cutthroat, more racist, and more cruel just because they were women. I don't know about you, but I do not want anybody in that White House just because of their gender. Our representation has to embody our values, lifestyle, and our lineage with reparations at the forefront. Our reparations has to be a black agenda priority and reparations legitimate package candidate from our own lineage, because we know that white people or any other group would never give us our liberation because they benefit by keeping us at the bottom. Even Barack Obama did not do anything for black people, and making Joe Biden his vice president gave clues that Obama never would, because Biden wrote the crime bill of 1994. You know, that three strikes law that created the prison industrial complex system, that created the school to prison pipeline system, that created the incentive to lock up millions of black men, making the United States of America the #1 country for prisoners in the entire world. Well, Bill Clinton signed it into law and Joe Biden created it. Barack Obama used the black community in order to propel his own political career. And by choosing Biden as VP proves it, because he gave a hidden message to white supremacist voters who may have suspicion of him. By selecting Biden is like a dog whistle, letting whites know that he is not some presidential candidate like DeonDJenkins, who is going to use every ounce of political power as president to empower black people. Barack Obama was their safe candidate, who can rally the black vote without giving liberation to blacks who descended from American slaves. Obama criticized Clinton for signing the bill into law when he debated Hillary, but then went out and selected the man who wrote the bill as his VP. And I must admit that even I was fooled by this move, because I did not know who Biden was at the time, and most blacks who descended from American slaves did not either. Today is a new day. Barack Obama sold us out to advance his own political career. However, now is the time to annihilate creepy Biden for good. Many blacks still do not know his past, So this loser politician snagged the nomination because of it. And to be quite honest with you, I would not even want the nomination if I was only to achieve it because of the popularity of another man. I mean, let's be honest. Joe Biden is living in Barack Obama's shadow, and everybody knows it. Nobody cared about Joe Biden ever in his life. That's why the media tried its best to hide other much younger, charismatic candidates who would have ran with the much younger black demographic of voters, because Biden is their establishment candidate, and he is so easily outshined. They circled him around a bunch of other incompetent candidates like Kamala Harris and Cory Booker, and those should have been retired 20 years ago candidates like Bernie Sanders. They would never allow myself to get seen on debate stages or press conferences or highly syndicated radio shows like The Breakfast Club, because I would run away with the young vote and, of course, the black vote. Not only that, but I would give blacks who descended from American slaves something to vote for. We would get a true reparations package detailing the 4 elements of reparations, acknowledging the 4 elements of American society, which are defensive structure, capital, land, and having the access to capital. My DMLG package, which stands for defense, money, land, and grants, details a precise reparations package that got suppressed by the Democratic Party. They went out of their way to make sure that the people did not know about a presidential candidate with a precise reparations package. They went out of their way to make sure that the old uneducated black vote hang on to an Obama con that does not specify any agendas for us. They went out of their way to use an established racist policy creator like Joe Biden to take the lead for the Democratic Party. They played us as if we were stupid. And unfortunately, it is too many of us who are. Mainly that older generation, willing to sell out the young, holding on to that pitiful, desperate need to get accepted by white folks. That generation that is willing to cut you off as soon as you tell them that Jesus is not white. And when they see somebody like a Joe Biden, they see a blonde-haired, blue-eyed savior. They don't see Joe Biden. They see Joe Jesus. And they cling on to that scam artist Barack Obama, who now have daughters who only date white men. His own daughters are not even trying to find a mate who resembles the legacy of their own father, which proves that he isn't even a man in his own house. Michelle is. I can prove this because what type of strong, black, straight black man would stop more for gay rights than black rights? What type of strong black man would spit on his own legacy as the first black president by not going down in history for risking his life for the advancement of black people? But instead, you would risk a bullet for a gay agenda. I made a hip-hop song how I would paint the White House black, and then Obama beat me to it by painting it in rainbow colors. Yeah, his daughters psychologically would look for white men. Even though their father is the first black president of the United States of America, and racist Joe Biden reminds Barack of his white father on his white mother's side, the father who raised him. That old black vote don't give a damn about what happens to us after the policies created by that Joe Biden guy. They ignored black candidates their entire lives and only supported candidates that were approved by the Democratic media. They voted in Bill Clinton because he knew how to play a saxophone on the Arsenio Hall show, and had the audacity to call him the first black president because he smoked weed and got head in the Oval Office. They swooned over Kennedy because of the rumors of him banging Marilyn Monroe. They elected Jimmy Carter just because they were tired of Nixon-like policies. And now they're going to elect a man who created the school-to-prison pipeline system to be our president. They can care less what type of policies that their children and grandchildren would get stuck with, all because in their minds, they figure that they're going to be dead soon anyway. And they love Obama. So they're going to follow their emotions. And as creepy as Joe Biden is, he is still a white man. And you would think that this element will become the exact obstacle to get our old black votes. considering the policies that white men created to bottom caste us. But no, it's on the contrary. Creepy Joe's white skin is a catapult that will get him elected by our parents and grandparents. And when they are dead, we will be the ones paying the bill. Joe Biden had to sit under a black man for 8 years, and now he's ready to even the playing field. And I feel sorry for any woman he selects for his VP, because she would be forced to deal with this man for 8 years at the most, 4 years at the least, and will find out the truth about his creepy disposition. Unfortunately, they have been grooming many black women to be the hoes for these type of politicians for quite some time now. And the movie series Scandal proves that. Joe Biden will have to select for himself a creepy white guy loving black woman who binge watch TV shows like Scandal all day to escape a sexual assault charge if he is elected. So I'm assuming a Kamala Harris or somebody like that will become his VP. I'm done. This is presidential candidate Deon D. Jenkins, the only black agenda priority candidate, the only legitimate reparations package candidate. And I approve this message. Thanks for listening.